Last year, the best 60-game stretches for a team were had by the Dodgers, Astros, and Indians, who went 43-17 over their best 60-game stretch. Highest batting average over a 60-game period was Ketel Marte. Mike Trout and Eugenio Suarez both hit 26 homers during a 60-game stretch. And the lowest ERA among qualifiers belonged to Hyun-Jin Ryu, who at one point was just unhittable early in the season, a .80 ERA. Okay, so chew on that for a little bit and keep that top of mind, Harold and Ron. I'm going to ask you if you think that in this 60-game season, the total I'm going to give you for the statistical category will go over or under the number. And let's start with wins. Will the winningest team this season claim over or under 37.5 victories?
I'm going over. I think the Dodgers are going to be in that 40-plus category. No doubt in my mind.
40? You're saying like 41-19 or something like that? Okay, Ronnie?
Yeah.
I'm over too, and I think one team is going to go 45-15 in the 60-game stretch.
Wow.
It's going to happen.
Firm.
Yeah.
Coming in hot there, boys. All right, so how about an individual total? Homers. And let's set that number at 20.5. Does somebody hit over or under to lead the league?
That's a tough one. That's a great number, Matt. That's not fair. I was gonna say 20. So I think under. I think they'll be right at 20 because I don't think the timing's gonna be there. You see a ton of different pitchers. I just don't see anybody hitting 25 or 30 in 60 games.
You know, I think Giancarlo Stanton in his MVP year hit 33 over a 60-game stretch. I'm kiddingly saying, which baseball are we going to be using this year, and how far is it going to be flying? I'm going to take the over on the home runs.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? Because we missed the cold weather months, but there are no fans in the ballpark. That's a remain to be seen, as this one will be. Hits. Does Major League Baseball's hits leader have over or under 75.5 at the end of the 60-game season, Harold?
Over 75. I think you can get that. That's a lot, though.
It's a hit plus.
It's going to be a lot of knocks.
Yeah.
It's a lot of knocks. I'm sticking with it, though.
Okay.
That's a lot of knocks.
Because I've gone over, I'm going to go under on this one. But one of the great stats of all time is 2004, Ichiro, in a 60-game stretch, had 121 hits.
What?
Yeah. Look it up, my man.
Wow. I can't get to the window fast enough with an over on that one. Gee whiz. All right, let's talk a pitching number here. Over under 1.50 for the qualified ERA leader this year. We saw Hyun-Jin Ryu had a .80 at one point over 60 games last year. 1.5, Harold, over or under?
I say under. I think pitchers are going to dominate. It is going to be a pitching-rich time. I think we'll see a number of pitchers pitching. I don't know how many guys will throw a complete game, but I think we'll see many games. Matt, your favorite, we'll see 10 to 12 pitchers in one game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be under also. I think someone's going to rival Gibson's 1.12 from 1968. I think that's going to happen. Remember, okay, starting pitchers might pitch less, be taken out after maybe 4 or 5 innings early on. But then when they come in September, when they should hit their peak, they won't have the abundance of innings. You know, they won't be at 180, 190 innings, which they are in seasons past. So they should be fresh and ready to go and dominate in September.
I mean, if we use the same
they'll
formula,
have that giddy
right,
up.
60 innings will qualify you, right? I mean, if we use the same formula that we used during the regular season. So all these numbers are going to get wacky at some point. All right, how about appearances? Will the appearance leader among pitchers log over or under 29.5 games?
I say under because I don't think they're going to overuse guys that much. That's basically throwing every other game out of the bullpen. I don't see that happening.
Okay.
I'm going to say over, Harold, only because I think this year, you know, managers, there's some managers that tend to play the hot hand when it comes to bullpenning. And I think this year, if there ever was one with the truncated season, If a manager gets a hot hand, you might see that person out there every day. The one thing that might keep that under with your call, Harold, is of course the 3-batter minimum.
So that might affect how you'll feel about this last one. The strikeout leader this year will have over or under 110.5.
I say under. In 60 games, and the only reason being is what Ron talked about earlier. Pitchers are going to ramp up 4 innings, 5 innings, 7 innings. They still got to build up. And you're not going to have those big 20 strikeout games out the gate that are going to help those numbers pile up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be over. There's about 12 starts, right? You're going to get in a 60 game schedule, about 12, 13 starts. And, the cream of the crop, Garrett Coles, the Verlanders, and others, they're striking out 10, 11 a clip, every game. So I think they're going to do it. I think over a 60-game stretch last year, Cole was in the 120s. So I'm going to call over.
All right, we have logged your responses, and we will check for accuracy come October 1st, 2020.
Get to the window, Matt.
I'm on my way.
That was the
Let's take a break.
best line of the night.